Good morning. Today we will study the postural deformities. So we are continuing the lesson children and sports. So postural deformities. The postural deformities are of two types. Postural deformities of spine, spinal curvature, postural deformities of leg. Postural deformities of spine are kyphosis, lordosis and scoliosis. And postural deformities of legs are knock knees, bow leg and flat foot. So these are two groups of the postural deformities. One group is the postural deformities which is caused due to the posture of spinal curvature. The postural deformities which are caused in the legs, and those all are known as postural deformities of leg, knock knee, bow leg and flat foot. So these all deformities we will discuss in detail. First we must know about the spinal curvature. The normal spinal curvature, in which we can see cervical region is there. The human spine is divided in five parts, in which cervical region 7 vertebrae are there. This is the region, cervical region is just up to the neck. Thoracic region, which starts from the neck up to the chest, below the chest, and this is the region is known as thoracic region. There are 12 vertebrae are there. And the lumbar region, which is the waist region, is there. Then there are 5 vertebrae are there. This is known as lumbar region of the spine. And then sacrum, there are 5 are there. And these 5 are fused together. And then last one is coccyx. They are also fused. So that is just like a tail structure. After the sacrum, there are 4 vertebrae are there which are fused. So this is the curvature of spine, where we can see what is the curve of the spine naturally. This we can see in third picture. In the colors it is shown. Thus we can see these are the curves of the spine. When these curves are due to the postural problems, due to bad posture that we have discussed in previous video, causes of bad posture, due to that, when this curve it change, or there is any slightly change in this curve, so that will cause definitely the postural deformities of the spinal curvature. So when we are sitting in a wrong way, when we are sleeping in wrong position by using heavy pillows, reading and sitting and working while sitting over the chairs and furnitures, bending forward, carrying heavy loads over one side of the body, one shoulders, over the head. So nutrition, a lot of things are responsible. Walking position, running position, standing position, a lot of matters. So these things when are abnormal, we are not doing in a proper way, these the wrong methods we are using, so definitely the spinal curvature can change. When the spinal curvature change from its natural position, so the postural deformities arises, and these postural deformities are known as postural deformities of spine. And same things happens with the postural deformities of leg. When we are not walking properly, not using proper good quality of shoes, so wearing tight clothing, so various causes are there. Nutrition we are not taking properly, so that all those cases, then we may suffer with the postural deformities of leg. Here we can see then the postural deformities. First postural deformity we will discuss that how many postural deformities are there total. Round shoulder, first postural deformity of the spine, then lordosis, kyphosis, scoliosis. These first four are the postural deformities of spine, spinal curvature. Then we have the postural deformities of leg, bow leg, knock knee, and flat foot. So these are the postural deformities of leg. So if the question asks then what are the postural deformities of spinal curvature, so we have to define from here. The first four are the postural deformities of spinal curvature. Then rest of the three are the postural deformities of leg. And normally the question is there then what are the postural deformities, so we can define these all postural deformities. If question is asking about 5 or 3, so we can define from here. So the postural deformities now we will discuss in detail. We will show you pictures of all the postural deformities and their remedial measure. So first is round shoulder. Round shoulder, by the names we can understand, shoulders become round, tilt in the forward direction. So round shoulder is the postural deformity in which the shoulders become round as they are drawn forward. The head is extended and the chin point forward. Chin points forward means then when the shoulders are coming down, the whole alignment of the upper body brings the head and face downwards. Gradually we see then the person is suffering with the kyphosis, next disorder, because the whole cervical region is responsible for the cervical. This is the problem of cervical and thoracic round shoulders and kyphosis also. So these both the problems are quite same, but little different is there. Then in this the shoulders are only bending forward, and round shoulder the shoulders are bending forward. So then I will clear the difference while we will discuss the kyphosis. So round shoulders are when the shoulders comes forward, they are bending down, and causes are we will discuss here. First is the poor postures poor posture in work, particularly in a desk job, that we have discussed in the desk job. What is desk job? We have discussed in causes of bad posture. people are sitting over the desk and working over the laptop, working over the during working in office, and sitting and walking. So desk job. Faulty furnitures while we are sitting, we are bending body forward. Wrong habit of standing and sitting, and carrying heavy load on shoulders. So these are the causes for the round shoulders. We can see certain pictures of the round shoulders here. Round shoulders, when the shoulders become round. We can see the pictures when the shoulders comes forward, they are being round. In the middle of the picture we can see one of the normal position of the body, and another one in which shoulders are bending. In the green line we can see that is the normal one, position of the shoulders, and rest of the pictures they show the shoulders are tilting forward. So these are the postural deformities of spinal curvature known as round shoulders. We will go to the next precautions of the round shoulder. What are the precautions for it? Do not sit, stand or walk in bent position. First precaution is we should not sit or stand or walk in bending position while the upper body is bending. While we are doing any work, while we are sitting, while we are standing, while we are walking, we must try to keep our head and back straight. About tight fitting clothes. Tight fitting clothes also makes our body rigid, tight. So that's why in works also we are in activities we are unable to move the shoulders back. So avoid tight fitting clothes. Then we will come to the corrective measures. Stand in correct posture first of all. Keep the fingertips on your shoulders and encircle your elbows in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. That is the yoga small joint exercise of the shoulders, yoga exercise. Normally people do this exercise by keeping hand over the shoulder, fingers over the shoulder, and then revolving the shoulders clockwise and anti-clockwise. So this exercise can be performed. Perform Chakrasan and Dhanurasan for some time. So these all activities we can perform here, all the exercises we can perform here, in which we are pulling the shoulders backward because shoulders are dropped forward. So we are pulling the shoulders backward, so for curing this round shoulder problem. So every exercise can be performed in which we are pulling our shoulders back. We can see certain exercises here. So one more is there, then it's hold the horizontal bar for some time. Horizontal bar in which we perform chin-ups, pull-ups. So that horizontal bar we can hang ourselves over the hands by holding the hands, the bar by the hands, we can hang for some time, so that will help us to keep our shoulders on their natural position. Certain pictures we will see here for the curative measures. Curative measures, then there are Chakrasan and Dhanurasan. So these asanas can be performed. We can see in these asanas the shoulders are always coming backwards. We can see the shoulders are coming backward. We are pulling our shoulders, pressing our shoulders backward in these all asanas. These two asanas, Chakrasan very beneficial, and Dhanurasana is also very beneficial. We will move to the next postural deformity, that is lordosis. Lordosis is the inward curvature of spine, also called hollow back. Back becomes hollow from our back. The back becomes hollow. So that's why it is known as hollow back. It is the problem of actually the lumbar spine. It is an increased forward curve in the lumbar region. It creates problem in standing and walking. When we will see the picture, then we can understand what is the lordosis. So causes of the lordosis, then habitual overeating, improper environment, diseases affecting vertebrae, improper development of muscles, lack of exercise. These all we can see. Then habitual overeating. So the obesity is another one of the cause for the lordosis. The belly comes forward and then the back becomes hollow from the waist region. Improper environment. If we do not have healthy environment, diseases affecting vertebra. If vertebrae of the lumbar spine are affected due to any disease, improper development of muscles. The muscles of the lumbar region are not developed properly, and lack of exercise. So these are the causes. We can see the picture, then we can understand the lordosis. What is the lordosis? This we can see. The back is being hollow from the back side. We can see. The spine, the second picture, we can see the structure of the spine is tilting forward from the lumbar region. Whereas the stomach and waist region that I have told you in the previous slide. So the vertebra is bending forward. So in this overall the picture we can see one is normal and one is lordosis. The curve of the spine is there, definitely the curve is there, but this curve increased. In the lordosis we can see, in the fourth picture we can see the curve is increasing. Third picture we can see, that is there is the curve, natural curve of the net. This is known as the spinal curvature. And then fourth picture we can see this curvature is increased. So which is causing the hollow back. So this is another the deformity, that is lordosis. Now we can understand lordosis, in which the spine is lumbar, from lumbar region the spine is tilting forward, it is moving forward, that is known as the lordosis. Next we will come to the precautions. First one is take balanced diet. Keep the body straight while carrying weight. Body must be straight while we are carrying weight. Sometimes while we are carrying weight, our body bend backward or forward. While we are bending backward or forward, so this gives stress over the spine, so that can cause the increase or decrease the spinal curvature. Avoid walking too long with weight on one hand. So we must avoid this. While we have one side of the body, one hand we have weight, that we must avoid walking for longer duration, longer distance. So that can affect the spinal curvature. Don't walk, sit or stand in bent position. So while we are bending, we must avoid walking, sitting and standing while bending. Corrective measures we will see. Perform halasan and paschimottanasana. To sit up slowly. Stand to attention and touch the feet with the hands repeatedly. So this we do, this is also known as the Pavan Mukta Asana also. Stand in attention position, touch your feet with your hands repeatedly. Or rowing also, the exercise is there in which we are keeping our hands up and then coming down and touching our toes. So this exercise can be done. Lie on your back. Lay on your back and lift feet vertically. Vertically we can lift your feet upwards. So corrective measures we can see here. In all these exercises we can see, then we are pulling the lumbar region backward. The lumbar region is coming backward because it is pushed up forward, so we are bringing it back. So all these exercises like Paschimottanasana, in first position we can see Paschimottanasana, second position we can see the Halasana is there, and all those exercises, not only these, all those exercises in which we can see that we are bending the lumbar region that we have seen in the picture of the spinal curvature, we are pressing the lumbar region backwards because it is tilted forward. We will move to the next one. It is Kyphosis. Kyphosis is the postural deformity. This is excessive outward curvature of spine causing hunch over back. That is, hunch becomes over the back, then that is due to the kyphosis. Excessive outward curvature. When initially slightly the neck drop forwards and the spine of the thoracic and cervical joint regions move backward. So, but later it creates hunch. So, symptoms are there. The neck drop forward from cervical region in this deformity. Initially, the neck is dropping forward only from cervical region, and after that, this drop of the neck pushes the thoracic region backward, which creates the hunch over the back. The length of the chest muscles becomes short. These are the symptoms we can identify, because chest is muscles are compressed. Shoulders tilt forward, neck tilt forward, shoulders tilt forward. That I am telling you because in round shoulder I have told you that this is the just similar postural deformity with the round shoulders. In that also shoulders tilt forward, only shoulders are tilting forward. In kyphosis, shoulders are tilting forward along with the neck also drop forward. So that's why the kyphosis and they are little similar while the about the tilting of the shoulders forward, but kyphosis is little more than the round shoulders, because in kyphosis the neck also drop forward from the cervical region. So neck tilt forward and upper body weight lean forward. So this is overall we can see then the thoracic and lumbar region is tilting forward. Whole thoracic and lumbar is whole thoracic and cervical region. Sorry, thoracic and cervical region is tilting forward. Neck, shoulders, both are tilting forward. That's why the hunch is created over the back. The pictures we can understand here. We can see the kyphosis, the upper two curvature. In the second picture we can see upper two curvature are responsible for kyphosis. And third picture we can see hunch is created over back. So this is all about the kyphosis. So we will discuss about the rest of part of this postural deformity in the next video. Scoliosis we will discuss, then precautions of and the remedial measures of the kyphosis we will discuss. Hopefully we will repeat the kyphosis completely.